we had a cold front push down into Florida, and this poor baby's down here actually had to do something we're not used to and put the heat on. I happened to walk by the camper, and I had a really strong odor of propane. Today, going through investigating it, I had my leak detecting liquid, basically like the soap and water deal, but it's a real one. It's thicker, and I had no leaks anywhere. Went through, checked all the lines, tightened everything, and the smell was still there. So, well, I'm not going to recommend anybody doing any of this testing like this at home. What it was you can actually hear, if I turn a tank on, you can hear the usage hum. It's probably tough on the video. But anyways, I went through, and like I said, don't try this at home, but that is the vent on the bottom, right here for the dual regulator. It is made to vent if you have overpressures, overfills on your tanks. This tank was filled several days before. I had the real strong odor. This tank was empty. I bled off a little on this, but it did not look like, it just was the mist and the air that you would expect from it. So it did not look like an overfill to me, just to be safe. Anyways, I went ahead and had this one just filled because I'm going to need it anyways, and ran the whole pressure regulator as you saw on this side, and so I'm still getting it blowing out of there, which means a 1.5-year old pressure regulator is already shot. So I ordered a new one, and just going to replace the hose as well, even though they're new. I don't at this point trust anything that Keystone has done with this camper. After going through and checking everything, I went ahead and ordered the regulator, and magic of mail order, regulator just came. So I'm going to tear it apart, change out the regulator. I did also order the hoses, even though there's nothing wrong with them. Changing them out too. If the regulator died 1.5 years old, I'm not trusting anything on what they did to put together there or the quality of them. So ordered new hoses as well, and I'm going to change all that out. You're doing gas, you should use the yellow Teflon tape. A lot of people use the white, and people say, well, the white's fine. You're right, the white will work, but the white is thinner, whereas it's thicker and designed for gas, whether it be natural gas, propane. And this will last longer, pretty much, well, forever, whatever, where they say the white, being thinner, will break down, can break down and leak, where the yellow is designed for this. Additional tip with your Teflon. You want to make sure you're always wrapping your Teflon in the proper direction, not just putting it on. For example, in this fitting, it's going to go clockwise. The reason being is if you don't, well, when you wrap it, you want your end and you want to be wrapping the same way as tightening. If not, if you just throw it on there, when you tighten your fitting, you're going to unroll and unravel the Teflon, which does you no good. Always want to make sure you have enough. The yellow being thicker than the white, you don't need as much. A little more is better than not enough, but you don't want to bind your fittings, your threads up as you're putting it back together. This line is still attached to the camper, so it's just easier at this point with it all disconnected to spin the regulator. Then what I want to do is, as you can see, I'm pretty tight, but the regulator and the hose are fighting me, and I want the regulator would sit on the front of the tanks. So I'll just take it a little farther. You don't want to back it off, you want to always tighten. Put this cover off, this cover's getting in my way. Just about there. Just a hair more. That's good. Just going to install the upper hoses with this on, it's easier than having the regulator flop all over the place. All finished up. Ran out of daylight the other night, so didn't get to get the final video. New hoses. They're compression hoses versus just the cheap threaded tape ones that the camper came with. So 2 of those new, and the new regulator. Reuse this hose because nothing wrong with it. This is just a snap-on cover. New regulator seems a lot nicer. Obviously, not leaking. Propane's a bonus as well. So we'll consider this project all done and move on to the next. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, whatever you got. Thank you.